Welcome back to the Build Show. I'm Travis Brungart, and this week I want to talk to you about a site-built truss. Check it out. So with this renovation project, we're doing an addition to a almost 100-year-old home, and we're trying to replicate the roofline details that make this house unique in this neighborhood. But in order to do that and actually have a useful volume, we had to include a site-built truss. Now, this was the engineer's solution to a fairly complicated geometric problem because we have some discontinuous ridges, we have multiple ridge heights and dormers, a lot of elements in play at the roof. So to get this useful space up here, there wasn't a pre-built truss option. We can't use a regular queen post truss where we have a nice big square in the middle because we would need to be 30 feet taller, and we can't do that. It's an existing historic neighborhood. We had to keep respectful of the neighborhood and the design goals. It's something that we hadn't done much with, and we were nervous about it. So we had a lengthy meeting with our framer. We talked about the different challenges with our supplier. We ordered some custom plates from our friends at Simpson Strong-Tie that met the engineer's requirements. And then we facilitated all of the drilling and order of operations. But let's kind of walk through some of these details. Come with me. So the challenges that we face with a site-built truss are mostly like order of operations or phasing, because traditionally we would move very quickly from foundation to floor system to walls, and then we're platform framing, right? So if it's a two-story, we got another floor system, then we got another set of walls, and then we start into the roof. In this condition, we have to be building the roof and the floor at the same time, and that's inconvenient. You might have to do additional staging and scaffolding. You definitely don't want to be gluing something and putting down subfloor before you get all of your bolts in. This happens to be a section above the primary suite where there is no additional floor behind the knee wall, but you can imagine the joys of drilling these in. These are 5/8 inch diameter bolts that in some areas are upwards of 9 inches, and you still got to drill it and then get all of these things tightened down. But if we had put subfloor down like they normally would for a full platform, that all becomes inaccessible. You could do some of it from below, but you're passing through the floor diaphragm. It's a challenge, to say the least. But it does allow for some really fantastic open spaces, because obviously this knee wall is not structural. As you come up our double LVL that makes up this rafter and this roof plane, we transfer to a collar tie here that, again, is carrying a tremendous amount of tension. And the folks at Simpson did a great job engineering and getting these brackets to us so that we could allow that connection to happen in a timely way, and then support these two ridges that make all the architecture of this work with the old existing home that we're tying into. But all of this has to happen in a void. You're working in the air. None of this is simple and easy like traditional platform framing. We're doing either temp scaffold or temporary floor sheathing. And as we come around to this other side, we end up really having some more problems. So come over and I'll show you. So you can see that because I'm on the side of the stairs here, this web with this clever bracket is not that hard to attach, because I can attach it from this side, which is great, because otherwise it's a real problem, which you can see over here. We have the same condition here. This transfer to a web means this has to go through the floor diaphragm, and doing things out of order creates a real slowdown. There's no speed in a site-built truss. There's nothing about it that makes this fast. It's not about that. It's about the structural support that allows this larger volume. And then all of these bolted connections are incredibly tedious and slow, and they create a problem at the exterior, which I could show you as well. But all of these plates and bolts are now a thermal bridge to the exterior, which as a performance guy, we hate. But also we're taking our siding out of plane. What are we gonna fur out the exterior? How do we solve all this? And that's what we had to work through on this job. But I wanted to share it with you because I think now that we have this volume all built out, it's worth it. This family is going to be able to utilize this space for study rooms and game rooms. I think this is a ping pong table area that I'm in now. It's going to be fun for this family to have this space without being broken up by a bunch of columns or smaller volumes with structural knee walls that would have had to transfer to loads below. It's just something that I hadn't seen before that I thought was worth sharing. So if you're in a situation where you're doing a renovation or even a new project that's going to require a tremendous amount of engineering to get there, fight through it. It's worth it in the end to work through the challenges of a site-built truss. That's all I've got for you this week on The Build Show. I'm Travis Brungart. Thanks for watching.